Tim Kirby Russia hot takes. The Russian army has gone into the Ukraine. And so, what's next? I've gotten a lot of messages and calls to be on interview shows about this very big question. So I thought I'd share my thoughts with you guys. As of maybe a week prior, I would have been more scared that there could have been the option that perhaps the United States would have actually come in to save Kiev, and that would have essentially started a nuclear war and ended everything. That's not going to happen. Washington has made it very clear that they're just going to try to punish Russia with some sort of economic sanctions packages and whatever, and that they were initially only going to help the Ukrainian forces with some sort of army surplus. Old rockets, old new stock, as they say in the computer industry. So, thankfully, that option one seems to be off the table. That's far more dangerous. Option number two is I think we're going to be entering, people have sort of joked about it before, but now we're really going to be entering Cold War 2.0. And what do I mean by that? Many of you are probably a lot younger than I am. You may not even really remember the Cold War per se. But I can tell you one thing. Back then, the world was very divided. You know, from what I understand, for a long period of time, you couldn't even fly a foreign passenger jet over the territory of the Soviet Union. It was that bad, let alone easily send flights in and out. It was very difficult to get all the visas and stuff to visit the Soviet Union and vice versa. We remember there was the Berlin Wall. There were tons of economic sanctions. The world was really divided into a sort of East and West communist capitalist completely. We were two completely different universes living parallel with each other. And I think that's kind of where we're going to be going. The form of punishment the West is going to use is Russia's big and scary, especially on the ideological front. And so Russia is going to be cut off. I think that the first victim is going to be Russian media. I think that what the West wants maybe more than anything is to get every Russian voice the hell out of the conscience of the Western man. That's going to be issue number one. There's going to be a massive clampdown on anything coming from Russia, probably including this small channel. Who knows? I've already gotten plenty of hints that my activities within Russia are not exactly in line with what certain globalists would like. So we've got the media. Next, after the media, we're probably going to get into the whole thing of even the EU is discussing basically annulling all visas that are from Russian passports. So basically any Russian person who had some sort of visa to visit the EU, that's going to get canceled. That very well could happen. We're looking also how they shut off the Nord Stream 2 line. That also cuts off Russia more from Europe. So I think we're just going to see more and more of dividing Europe from Russia in every possible conceivable way. And so it will look a lot more like the Cold War. The only difference is that when we're not dividing the world into a capitalist and communist world, or sort of red versus non-red world, we're dividing it from the remnants of the monopolar world into the multipolar world, because the realities of India and China are still going to be very different from Russia, and there's not going to be any problems there, you know. I don't have a problem. I could take my Russian passport and I could go to Iran tomorrow, you know, or file a visa and go to China, no problem. I can also go to South Korea, and there's a bunch of other places where... So it's going to be very weird. Russia's going to be very internationally involved east and south, but not to the west. And in a lot of ways, I think that's going to be vice versa. Then again, the West is also very addicted to Chinese products. I don't know quite what they're going to do about China. China's a bit too big to get rid of. But so anyways, that's what we're headed to. We're headed to this divided reality between the West and Russia, which could have some really bad consequences for a lot of us, especially a person like me, whose job it is to sort of be that bridge between East and West. So things could get really bad for me personally. Then again, what can you do? When you tell the truth, sometimes you gotta suffer.